Master.
Hi, good morning, good morning. Okay. So, the book of Kadam, we're using that book. And then today's topic is continuing from last class, which is how to cultivate compassion and how to take compassionate action in order to benefit for others. That's how we're talking, right? And then so up to last class, we talked like a benefit or most the benefit of having altruism mind, compassion. And then at the last advice from Telupa mentioned that how he do practice in daily life that he said like he never have downfall in Delhi, and then also keep morality practice perfectly and benefiting to other through by the four method of collection of disciples, that or four method of collecting of beings that we call, right? So, and then what are the four method is saying like a speech, like a talk nicely or sweetly, and then also generosity or give whatever necessity for beings, and then engage your own practice perfectly. Then let them have let them lead them to have a practice. This four method. The detail of these four methods comes in Lamrim. This is one of the Bodhisattva's activities, right? And then here also mentioning this briefly. So therefore, again, let me read the root text. In general, when you see other, be free of miserliness, and then delight in giving. So again, this is part of the one of the four activities of gathering disciples. All right. Good morning. Good morning. So, and then asking question question and answer. So let me read again the line. This is the one of the compassion action, the what we're talking like a gathering beings, what gathering beings means, like some people is close to you, some people are not close to you. So before we help them, a few things need to be qualified by yourself. The one qualified is you should do practice your own breath perfectly, and then you just be nice to others, talk sweetly, and then also give them whatever necessary. These are the quality needed before you teach them or before you let them have any practice. So now first talking about the generosity or giving things. So master, who asked by Dromtemba, master is Atisha. So what should one do if one sees other on a regular basis? Recognize them as embodiment of kindness, right? So the kindness is many different way to describe. Not only that what we know is kindness, that who support you, who help you. So there are many ways to understand of kindness, or many ways to do kindness to us. Therefore, we believe that every beings is kind to us, whether they are good or bad, kind to us, yes. So that recognize them as an embodiment of kindness, which you getting close, your mind be more close to them if you recognize that. If not, then you always make distinction between others. Until you have a gap between you and others, then it is almost impossible can take compassion action or cultivation actions. Yeah. So therefore, now say, Master, how can one repaying their kindness? After I know the kindness, we should repay the kindness. So then they're asking how to pay the repaying, how to repaying their kindness in a beneficial way. Give them whatever they wish for without attachment. So this without attachment and anything, right? And further asking here, Master, what is the definition of having no attachment? It is go give without being miserly. Okay. So, and then rest of things I'm not reading, you can read it there. So this is the main giving definition of generosity or giving, right? So generosity practice shouldn't have any expectation with it. Therefore, it's a no attachment. Well, once you have attachment, the expectation always comes with it. So therefore, no attachment on anything, whatever you're giving. Something you hold, you like to hold it, or you cannot give it as your attachment. Better not give it, right? Therefore, whatever you're giving, that you shouldn't have any expectation or attachment. So, or not any conditionally. That's what we're saying, right? Without condition, you should give it, whatever you're giving. It makes different. So with condition always comes problem to both sides, true self and other. So therefore, without condition, any just freely give it, just only think that they want it, they are suffering, therefore I'm giving it. That's the whole reason. So, and then what things giving, and there are a lot of talks here, right? So many things we cannot do right now. So we can give some water, we can give some medicine, we can give some like amount, but what lives here, it's sometimes it's difficult for us. You see, right? All this. Say, furthermore, your head and legs, your hands and fingers, and your brain, skill, or blood from your heart. So sometimes we do blood donation, right? Which is good. And yeah, as I said, so many things we cannot do it. But some practitioners do that, yeah. When I was in monastery, one one layperson need a kidney. And then they announced in the monks, whoever donate the kidney, please help. Then we found one monks, and then he donated his kidney. Plus, he about only like a 15,000 or 10,000 rupees. He keep this too. So this is we see that. Therefore, so giving kidney is lot, right? And then plus he give this donating money. So that is possible. It's very depend on your motivation or your compassion, how strong you have it. So if you have a strong, there are no problem to give it. So the generosity practice, actually, there are a lot of detail we need to know. One things I can say quoted from Chandrakirti, middle way, he said that Bodhisattva practitioner, the Bodhisattva, whoever Bodhicitta, so even they hear someone comes to them, so asking someone give, they will be immeasurable, having immeasurable joyful. Right? So, but in our like an ordinary being, almost difficult to have that joy. Someone comes to asking to someone something give, right? So they're having immeasurable joy, and then also doesn't matter how many times they comes back, they're having immeasurable joy. So that's way different level than us. But I'm quoting this because it is possible, right? Yeah. So, but as we are beginner, we cannot do this all like if you really wants to practice the generosity practice, it's part of the compassion action, right? If we really wants to benefit to other through by the generosity, then we can train ourselves by more like a gentle way, right? So therefore, I get a quote from Shantideva text. It's chapter 5th, the 5th chapter, the 87 verse. Those who lack the pure intention of compassion should not give their body away. Good morning. And then intent, both in this and future lives, they should give it to the cause of fulfilling the great purpose, right? So it says, who impure, right? Yeah, the lack the pure intention of compassion means who have a not pure compassion. So better not act that anything that taking compassion acting or giving or so on. You shouldn't do that. And of course, you cannot give away the body. So because it says because no benefit at all, and also it's you feel really suffer and harms to yourself because your intention is weak, and that because of it's impure. So then, and further, like it continues giving us instruction, then how to do it, right? And it's chapter 7th. This line 87, which just I read it, it's a chapter 5th, and with the same Bodhisattva way of life. Chapter 7th, it's at the beginning, the guide of the world encourages the give of such things as food or some veg, right? Later, when accustomed to do this, one may progressively start to giving away even on flesh. At such a time when my mind is developed to the point of regarding my body like food, then what hardship would be there when it comes to giving away my flesh? It's no problem, right? To give away. So, sorry. So this is like a simple things you give it. Even you cannot give to others. Sometimes we do the lot of offering things to holy beings, right? We do have offering water here and fruit here. This is also practice for generosity, because we cannot give it because of our stinginess, miserlessness. So we have to reduce that stinginess or eliminate stinginess. Then we can give with a good motivation, right? Until then, you cannot give anything. So that's just the one way to do gentle practice is offering every day water or fruit to holy being. So as a religious person, there are no problem to offer the Buddha or God, but they do have a problem to give sentient beings, right? So what do you think? Why reason to that? Why we do not have a problem to offer Buddha and God, but we do have a problem to giving others? Yeah.
Because we see like when people are acting good, it's more like they deserve, to have good things. And then when we see someone acting badly, we're like, oh, they don't deserve that.
That's one reason, right? Yeah. But there's someone there who do not apply both reasons. Someone there really wants it. We see even they want it, but we still be difficult to give. Not as like a happily or enthusiastically offer giving them as like we offer the Buddha, right? Why is happening? Yeah.
Certain times, because of expectations, I have a problem with expectations. I'm always expecting something.
That's the comes. Yeah, that's the comes. So do you see any reason to having this gap between us? No problem to offer, but problem with giving.
Well, maybe we think that the Buddhas or God can really give us lots of stuff because they're powerful, and the other person's just a human. We're like, what can they? Maybe they can only give me a little bit or nothing.
Yeah, that's it. Because as you said, expectation. So when we say we accumulate merit, I will be better. I will be free from suffering. Looking at your own benefit. Therefore, we don't have a problem to offer, right? But like the beggar or homeless people come, giving them is difficult because we do not see any benefit. That's possible, right? I think this is the main our motivations change it, yeah.
Geshe, I've been mulling this over for a long time. Those of us who are organ donors, which means it's on our driver's license. They can take organs after a death. Usually happens if there's been an accident. Okay. How does that fit into, or does it not fit into the preparation for death, which obviously you couldn't do if you have an accident, but the wish to make a fruitful passing. And in effect, what we're doing is giving somebody license to mutilate our body at the time of death.
Okay.
Is there a balance to be found there, or is it something that one should not do?
Balance regarding that it's enough benefit exactly they use or not, that's you concerning, or you have suffer more, that's you concerning. What really balance means?
A balance between, I would assume, the benefit accumulated by offering one's body, even though you don't need it anymore, beside making a death and entry into the bardo with consciousness.
It's not affect anything in our consciousness. Anything we giving donate organ, right? So it not affect us, but instead of that, we will have received some benefit to doing this practice. That's what you're asking?
No.
Yes.
So I think Georgine is talking about so if you have an organ donor thing on your card and you die in a car accident, generally we say the body's not supposed to be disturbed after death for X amount of time. If you're an organ donor, because of the decay of the organs in the body, they cut you open immediately. Your body is definitely disturbed after clinical death. So I think there's some obstacle there. Yes, it's good to give your organs to others, because you don't need them anymore. But there's also the obstacle of, well, the body's being disturbed, directly, violently, directly after death. So isn't this some kind of an obstacle for us? Is there some kind of a middle ground between?
This is similarly, you are sacrificed with the benefit to others, right? You are sacrificed for benefit to others. But I don't think it's any affected in our future life and our mind to doing that. So yeah, what do you want to say?
Oh no, I was just gonna Chappelle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The same.
I had the same doubt. So
Okay.
So basically, the benefits of doing something good overcomes what the damage is being done to you, because you're not supposed to touch your body
Right. Yeah.
after you die. It's a good thing to do.
Good thing to do it. And when you do it, 100% give it, no any condition. So right, sometimes they might use or misuse wrong, they will not use, they will do more business. It could be, but from your side, no problem. From your side, you do not do any wrong as you give it. And then after that, whatever people do based on their karma, or I talk Buddhist, their karma. If they do wrong, they will have bad karma. If they do good, they will have good karma. That's there up to them. Yeah.
Isn't it also something I've read in some of the advice for people dying, you're supposed to, if you haven't done it already, sincerely wish to give away your body, all your stuff, offer it to sentient beings and and the three sublime ones. And it's so I guess that would kind of be you're literally giving away your body right then. And as long as you're doing it with pure intentions. But what I thought was that something about the body like affected the Bardo being though, right? Like
Mhm.
that, like it kind of like, I mean, facing a certain position, on your side is supposed to be more advantageous, but I guess if you died in an accident, you really don't have a choice around that. But like, so it doesn't really affect like your state in the Bardo, the fact that they're moving it around or anything?
Not really.
No.
Because once you get to Bardo, you're completely separated from your body.
Okay.
Nothing more connected, right? So one could be one problem could be, but it's more assumption, right? I don't know. Should I say that? Regarding like our clear light, it's so many happening in where the monks and Buddhist practitioner after the death. It's in general they are death, but still they are meditating with a clear light. There's no heart beating, no blood circulations, nothing, right? But the body keeps fresh for 18 days, 49 days, or 1 month. That's we considering as like they are meditating on clear light. Subtle mind is functioning at the time, and they're meditating with a clear light. After that, all the elements dissolved, and then finally they see the clear light, and they're meditating on it. So if they take organic and everything, it could be affected, this problem. But that's is our individual, but yourself will know the only. No one knows, right? So if I have like a confidence that I can see the clear light at the end because of my practice right now, I'm having some good sign. So, and then therefore, I'm not giving any donut. It could be cause problem, right? But if I'm not sure, maybe better give donut. Or, like I said, what benefit? You looking your own benefit to see clear light, or you just continue to do generosity to others, which is more benefiting. So, right now, as I'm again assuming based on myself, so choosing generosity, giving is the better benefit because other things not sure, right? Can I see clear light? I'm not sure, right? Because I'm measuring them based on today's practice and this live practice, right? So therefore, giving is better. That's I can say it, right?
And I also feel like in that case, like if you're, a practitioner meditating on clear light at the time of your death, you're experiencing, like a natural death, not like a death in like a car accident or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I think when it comes to organ donation, I think they only take your organs when you die in a car accident or something like that.
Oh, I
Like when
see.
you're- when you-
That's not the case.
Oh,
No,
really?
no,
Okay.
no.
Really, natural death is, oh, really?
I see.
Okay.
I see.
If your
Mhm.
brain died for any reason, they can take your organ.
Really? Okay, okay. I didn't know that.
I see.
Oh, yeah, they did it with my young brother.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
And we don't get it, once we agree to do this,
Mhm.
you don't get a choice. I mean, you could
Of course, yeah, I
go
understand.
and take it back, I
Mhm.
suppose, but if it's on your license, they will take your organs.
Mhm.
No matter where you are and what the circumstances of your death would be.
Mm. Yeah, that's one could be a problem, but I see more benefit to give it. Right?
Thank you.
It seems there's-
Thank you, yeah, that was.
Seems there's a balance from wisdom and compassion,
Uh-huh.
like the giving, you said if we give to. a
Yes,
beggar,
yeah.
It might be better to give to an agency that helps poor people as opposed to giving to
That's,
someone.
yeah,
It's that kind of thing, like balancing.
exactly, yeah.
Balancing. So greater good to give organs than to.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is exactly not the yin yang, but we see more benefit, which benefit, right? So sometime the Buddhist practitioner, what we're doing it's like fixing yourself first at the very first step, right? The fixing yourself at the first step. Therefore, you're not acting anything that you cannot deal with it, or it might cause you harm, or it might cause you disturb to your practice. We're not doing anything that, right? So more taking fixing yourself means cultivating compassion and try to reduce all negative emotion, and try to stop all this like something negative actions, right? So that's the Buddhist way to do it. Fixing yourself is first, and that's how we need to do. Regarding that, it could be okay. Let me have clear light first. That might be benefit to me to some point. It might be help me to reduce or eliminate some obstacle. Again, it's individual person know, yourself only knows, right? So, and then what I'm saying, giving it better because we are not sure that, because right now my practice, right? So therefore giving is better. That's what I'm saying, yeah. So you need a more skillful how you're going to choose it, right? Yeah, both has a benefit. Okay, so this is how giving us to reduce our stinginess to offering every day. And then so right now you can offer one fruit, one apple, no more than it. You just do it every time. And somehow someday you can do 2 apple or 3 apple. That's how you offer. So when you are very good with the offering parts, and then it makes you giving to like others. This is the how process, right? This is not just tradition. Usually, 7 practice, the prostration or giving, all this we're doing practice, like offering incense or candle, all these things. Actually, it's not tradition. It has a meaning that, right? Because if I go to talk Buddhist, the Buddhist practice is anything we act or anything we do, it should become remedy for the cause of suffering. This is, we should apply remedy for cause of suffering. Whatever, even you do chanting, right? Or reciting mantra, or you do prostration, or you offering, every single things, a single action should be become a remedy for that. Either like a suffering or cause of suffering. Then this is the Buddhist practice, right? So if you do not do it not apply for reducing cause or reducing or eliminating cause of suffering or cause, then whatever, no matter whatever you do, is not becoming practice, Buddhist practice, right? So therefore, I'm giving always one example, like even you do like a 10 years retreat, but your anger is remaining same amount as before you go retreat, the 10 years waste, right? So because you're not exactly practicing, you are do something, but it's not called practicing. Practicing means either cultivate or transform, right? So if you do not have any result, either not transforming or not cultivating anything, then not counted as practice. But you doing hard work, yes, it's counted hard work, but not practice. So therefore, any actions, I'm just saying here, any action to do, we should apply for either reducing the cause of suffering or suffering itself.
And
right,
you
that's important.
Referencing suffering as attachment and aversion, and the source of suffering is ignorance.
Source of suffering is attachment is source of suffering too. All these mental afflictions. All these mental afflictions are source of suffering. Regarding Buddhism, what we have, it's karma is also source of suffering. But karma is lead by those mental afflictions, right? So as well as therefore we emphasizely talking about you should reduce anger, attachment, and so on. Instead of talking about free from suffering, you relax or eat well. We're not saying that, right? You hard work and then try to reduce those mental affliction or negative emotions. Because those that we consider it is cause of suffering, it's really source of suffering. If we look back to the Four Noble Truths, what are the origin of suffering? It's karma and afflictions, right? So these are the, and then if you more analyze and deep way to look at, you will find, yes, those are the exactly cause of suffering. My anger is cause of suffering. My attachment is cause of suffering. So it's let us take a lot of negative actions, and it let us create a lot of negative action, which is produce us to have suffering, right? Suffer, yeah. So those, yeah, cause of suffering is totally different than what we see in our regular life. Yeah. So, okay, this is the how anything you will need to do that. Therefore, the offering is also part for their reducing our stinginess. The doing prostration is not tradition. The doing prostration is reducing our ego, like a pride. So this is the remedy, and then also included that motivation and everything, right? Okay. So, and then on a look at the father teaching, which is Kadam, Book of Kadam. So they quoted, Atisha quoted from Sarahas, and then Yogini Nagi, talking about how much we have benefit to doing generosity practice. And then, as I mentioned, in more detail you can find from Lamrim regarding the generosity practice, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I can mention that. We have Monday, one of them, every first Monday, we are teaching, introduce Buddhism by both Theravada and Mahayana together, right? So, one of our friends asking me, because our topic is six perfection, they say, why not I just say divide it each time, talks like a generosity, morality, and then they say, do we have that much to talk about the generosity and morality? I say, yes, only generosity can be takes 3 days to talk, or month can be talked, right? So you have a lot of details there. I'm mentioning these because I just encourage you to read more, because generosity practice is all the six perfection. Number is six, right? But teachings can be go years and years, right? So because knowing that every single details, that's not in simply know that I have to give it. So therefore, goes to Lamrim, it will have a lot of details, and then further, it's after that, mentioning about that other three. The method of gatherings, because right now we talk the giving is the one method of gathering disciple, collecting disciple, or collecting someone that who can hear from you and who can listen to you, right? So the other three is it's in a line, but I can mention by here the talk nicely and sweetly, and then also one is not really mentioned here, but one what is like a you should do practice yourself before you are helping others, before you teaching others, or before you let them meditation or whatever you do practice yourself first, right? So this connection I think is very important to know, because most of us to becoming teacher is not simple. It's not enough to knowing that all this information. It's not enough to have the knowledge to how to talk, right? So, but it is language, it is science, then that's fine, right? But even like a science, you have as much as how much you have a experience to creating something or whatever science do, right? So that much you can talk them deeply, or you will have any single answer for their any single questions, because you learn deep, not just academic way, also experiences, right? So having experiences is the important part to talk to others, right? Then again, right now I'm talking about the compassion, right? And then you might, do you have an experience of compassion? Actually not. So, but what things practicing myself, right? It takes a long time time by time practicing myself, and then based on that, I do have a little bit of experience, but not attend compassion yet. Do not have a compassion, pure compassion yet. But once think When the reason, apply reason, it's changed a little bit here and that, motivated to us, encouraged to us. Yes, it means like I'm continuous doing practice. That kind of experience can be habit. So therefore, based on that, then we're talking about compassion, right? Do this, do not do this, and because of having this, you will suffer, and so on, so on. Yeah. So therefore, my experience is really against self-compassion. You know that, right? We do not need that self-compassion. That's that's my experience of practicing. Again, I'm not saying that I achieved compassion. Okay, if I say that, I will have to disrupt because big lying. It's big lying. So we cannot do that. So therefore, my experience means like whatever I have so far. That's sees self-compassion is not necessary. But self-care needed, definitely needed self-care, but it's not necessarily called self-compassion. That's self-care. So this is exactly saying you should apply practice first before you talk to other. It is one way to self-care, right? And then regarding compassion, what is the self-care of regarding Buddhism is renunciations. Renunciation is self-care, actually, right? So that's based on that, then we can cultivate compassion. And then when you look at the renunciation, it's not the emotionally you're caring yourself. You're caring yourself to understanding all the suffering of cause of suffering or source of suffering and try to eliminate, try one by one. This is the renunciations, right? What you're renouncing is actually cause of suffering. Right? You're not renouncing exactly the material things and all this. As well as you renounce the cause of suffering, then no matter how much you have material things, does not affect you anything, right? So renunciation is self-care. Regarding that's more makes sense for me. And otherwise, what today's self-compassion is, I really do not see is necessary. It's kind of like a crossing two time to river or like impossible to they will not have a chance to cross second time. You understand? So we will not have a cross to second time to rivers because self-care, self-compassion, what we describe is yourself shouldn't have any suffer while you're helping others, while you're benefiting others. And then when we will end our own suffering? No. And end of life, until end of life, not really ending our own suffering. Then you should care always yourself. There no get chance to like cultivate or take compassion for others. No chance, right? Or if you do, but it's crossing two times. Self-compassion first, then you do other compassion practice secondly. So at the very beginning, just focus to other, concerning other, and cultivate compassion for other, and it's included everything. Self-compassion is there, self-care is there, and then also care from others, also there. Cherish others, also there. Everything is there. So this just directly practice began from the compassion to others. This is the, I think, wonderful way to do it. Yeah, we will not waste our time. Actually, that's the thing, right? Okay. So, and then after you practice yourself, then you can teach. You can lead them meditation. You can help them, right? So this is the how to connect it. The foregathering. The foregathering means you should collect it more. The people or more student could be say you can collect it, but in one of them is your own practice, not only say and give. Right. One of the four is your own practice. It's also part of the collecting. Right. Sorry for that. Okay. Is this clear? Mm-hmm.
May I ask a question about
Definitely.
self-compassion? Are you referring to, are you referring to both action in society and in your practice with others and in your meditative practice? Because often in meditative practice, you like in meditation and other giving and taking, you start with yourself
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to people that you care
Mm-hmm.
about and then indifferent people and then strangers, right? And you work out. Is that method still valid?
That method is very much
Okay,
valid,
so you're
and
not
this is
saying
the
skip that in
no,
your
yeah,
meditative practice.
yeah,
You're just
yes,
saying in terms of practicing in society,
yeah,
continue always to prioritize other people.
yeah. That's
I
the thing.
understand. I just wanted to
Yeah,
clarify.
yeah, oh, yeah. Okay. So always begin from like just by yourself. Meditate. This is if you want to do compassion practice, and then the cultivating is the first,
Yeah.
and action is second. Right? So if you do not cultivate the compassion, or then you will not have any action of compassion. So you will act it, that action will be associated with some different emotion, not that connected to the compassion. It's not necessary, right? So if it connected with the compassion, they always act with the reason, not act emotionally acted, right? As well as you acting is emotionally, that not connected with the compassion, right? So compassion is one of the emotion, but when it leaded any actions by that compassion, always go with the reason, not emotion there. So as well as go with the reason, and as until the reason is remaining, then it's continuous. Let you encourage you continue to complete it or do it, right? So because you see the reason is they are suffering, or reason I want to free them from suffering, right? So and then until then you will do it. This is the reason. But emotionally you do it, you might tired, right? So you try help today, complaint comes, right? And then not listening at all, and so on, so on, so on. You might tired. So that's emotionally you acting it.
Sometimes I feel like it's almost like my greed kind of makes it seem
Uh-huh.
like it's self-care for my practice, and it's sort of like, you know, like for one example, like some days I'll like, like have the intention the night before, like, oh, I'm gonna take the 8 precepts tomorrow because
Mm-hmm.
it's,
Mm-hmm.
some sort of auspicious day or something like that.
Yes.
But then I think, oh, if I do that, I might not have the energy to do my evening practice, so I'm not gonna do it. But then, I realize that's sort of more greed rather than self-care, trying to, because I, just guess I just want to eat dinner at night,
You're right, yeah.
How do you like differentiate between when you're trying to engage in self-care for your practice and when you're just being greedy?
It's very much depend on motivation, right? Setting up motivation, whatever you act, whatever you do practice. The beginning motivation is the important,
Okay.
right? So therefore, every single time, even teaching time, chanting time, which I go for refuge, and I'm doing like a through by this merit, I achieve Buddhahood for the sake of all beings. We keep saying that, right? But this is actually part of setting up motivation. Every time you will see in our culture or society, whenever we begin any the Dharma practice, always setting up motivation is first important. Once you set up motivation with the bodhicitta, then it goes more with whatever you're doing, it benefiting others, right? So, and then you might say, oh yeah, I have a lot of things to do, as well as benefit to other, I will do this because it's motivation. So therefore, intention is the important first, right? Yeah. Either movement intentions or cause intentions. And more important is cause intentions. Cause intentions means every day you do practice, cultivate compassion or whatever you do, or try to cultivate bodhicitta. This is the cause intention. The movement intention could be anything, but movement intention could be, this is how we distinguish and make like a cause intention and movement intention. Like say, like just look at the doctor, like to saving someone life, to cut one of their part of the body. right? And the cause intention is I'm going to save. It's more connected with the compassion kind, right? The movement intention is I'm cutting it now. This is the movement intention. It could be negative, right? So because I'm cutting now. So that cutting is leaded by saving. Therefore, it's not turning into the negative karmas as regarding Buddhism, right? So therefore, sometime, if we, it could be say movement intentions, I'm killing. You have like a sometime problem that we try to sleep the animals where we see a lot of injury and heavily suffering that we see it. The cause intention is I'm going to save them, right? I cannot being the patients seeing this animal suffering. And then movement intention is giving injections or medicine to kill. That could be negative, right? But this is how we can understand the cause intention and movement intentions. The cause intention is the most important, and this is depend on everyday practice. And then whatever comes in the moment, it should be led by the cause intention. The cause intention could be bodhicitta, compassion. Again, it's becoming cause intention naturally comes if you do any everyday practice. Otherwise, not naturally comes. We have to think, or sometimes we're forgetting because our emotion is overcome by it, right? So it's not let us to have any analyze further to think how I can benefit other because other emotions is overcomes, right? But if you everyday practice, it will overcome by other emotions. Our other emotion cannot be come over by it because you do every practice and make it more stronger. Is this clear? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, and then next, I'm going to move to next. Before we move to next, any question you have, any further discussion? If you have it, you're welcome to do that. So now next is talking the obstacle, obstructions to which is the before the four method is condition to take action of compassion, right? So what condition we needed? Now he's talking about the obstacle. What obstacle will obscure to us to continuous benefit to others, to having altruism mind? And the root text, it says, relinquish all form of envy. But if you look at the commentary as the father teachings, then you say, Master, in the degenerate time, they assail, what assail, right? Assail the lowly with their feet. They assail the superior with their heads, and they assail their equal with their hands. With such flawed behavior as theirs, the era right of degeneration has downed. What is talking about our nature? So what do you understand like lowly with their feet and then head and hands, right? So I understand. What is talking like you looking down? The lowliest inferiors are you looking down. So because feet is our like a lowest one, and then it's giving example because when you have jealousy or ego, then you will look down. You will look like the inferiors are will look down, or you ignore them, or you like you make it fun, right? Or you easily tease them, or so on, so on. That's the like the hitting by feet. And then as well, superior with their heads means like one superior who's better knowledge than you, or whose financial is better than you, everything's better than you. That as jealousy or pride, we don't like to respect to them, right? So we'll not have some kind of good thoughts to I have to respect to them, or I'm going to respect to them. We cannot respect it anything, right? As well as we have jealousy, and pride. So you understand that, right? We cannot respect it. So therefore, they're saying like a head. And instead of respecting, we try to make them look down, to finding their the faults and mistaken things, and spreading this word to any community, to ruining their reputations. So many work hard we doing it when we invite comes, right? So this is very danger. And then also says that the equals by hands means directly fighting. It's like a competitions. For your equal knowledge and everything, you really want to compete with one there, or you want to defeat to them through by the competitions. So that's also lead by the envy or jealousy, right? So therefore, what is exactly jealousy? How you describe the jealousy or envy in your way?
Jealousy is usually wanting or thinking you deserve what someone else has.
You're impatient, right?
Yeah, but it's usually directed at something specific. Being impatient of like getting what you're owed is a little different than jealousy. Jealousy is when you see someone else with something, you say they don't deserve, I should have that, or I wish I had that.
That could be the attachment.
It is both. It's a form of it. Jealousy is definitely a form of attachment.
So attachment is there, but jealousy is usually we not say the form of attachment, form of anger, because you have like a uncomfortable mind.
Okay.
When you see something happen better than you, you really like always distracted to you, right? It's part of the anger. It's a form of the anger, actually, one of the form of the angers. Well, jealousy included a lot. Jealousy included the attachment and also ignorance, and its natural form is like a part of the anger. So all these three poisons included in jealousy. So in the beginning, jealousy caused by attachment, because you want better, or you want to become a better education, you want better financial, or you want better car, and so on and so on. It's part of the attachment. If you do not have that, you will not have jealousy. You will not too much attaching like some fancy car, and someone having fancy car, you will not have that jealousy. So it's lead by the cause to you you attach to something, right? And then you see someone have similarly, then you feel uncomfortable. It's kind of like distracted to you, or you feel you want to harm to them, right? Oh yeah, they have it, and then sometimes we jealousy on person, but they're having through by the one of the characteristics of the persons, right? That characteristic, it's also saying we have attached on it. So the part of the attachment I can describe that way. Let's say if we look in the same job, and then today new person comes, you're senior in that company, and then newcomers, right? And after a month, the newcomers are becoming higher position than you. Then what happening? Then we have to check our emotion, what happening at the moment, right? So that is jealousy, because you are attached to the liking or wanting that higher positions or better positions, but they have it now, who comes after you. Then you might have anger. That anger is led by jealousy, and that anger is led by attachment too, because you want it, then they have it, you are uncomfortable or distracted to you. This is the jealousy,
What's the difference between envious and jealousy?
I don't know, maybe English term, right? For actually, if we look at the Tibetan word, we say as takto. Chakto sometimes translate into envy, sometimes translate into jealousy. I do not know an English term.
I think jealousy and English are called synonyms. So they're
The concept of
almost replaceable
Mhm.
for each other.
concepts the same as you're speaking.
It's a synonym. So a synonym means that you could replace one word for the other. They're like interchangeable almost.
I feel like envy though, like it might not involve anger, like that you might not actually be angry about it. You want what they have, but you're not like necessarily feeling some sort of other negative. It's more like attachment, but jealousy, definitely you're angry that they have it.
Okay, then it means more jealousy then.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. Like,
I
think
know.
that they're just synonyms.
They might, it might be, but that's when I hear the word. That's what I've always associated with it.
That's a really good perspective.
Yeah, but I mean, like, just like if you're just feeling it like that, then that doesn't mean that it's necessarily correct. I think that we should go by what actual definition is. Like, there's a lot of definitions.
Yeah, it's
And I've
true.
heard, and then thought, oh, that word means that thing. And then somebody tells me, oh, that word actually doesn't mean that thing.
Mm.
I do believe they're synonyms.
So yeah, for like then I will use more jealousy the term. So yeah, the definition of jealousy, that mind which is led by attachment to some kind of repetition or any material things to attach to have those, and then when someone have similar what you are attaching and someone have that, you see it, you having impatience or too much distracted to you or makes you uncomfortable mind. That is we call it jealousy, and its ignorance included there because you do not see exactly what is the best way to have the motivation or what the best I mean yeah, it's ignorance because you do not know it causes you suffering, or it ignorance is good no you do not know also it harms to others, right? And then ignorance included. So therefore jealousy is included those three poisons as cause is attachment, its form is anger, and ignorance there because you're not seeing all this result of having jealousy, right? And then opposite, what is we will talk later, okay? So it comes later. This is the how we give the definitions of jealousy. And then now if we look at the word called, okay. Yeah, we already read that, right? So this is the acting. Once you have jealousy to lovers, you will have like you ignore them, you make fun for them, or you look down for them. And when you have jealous to the superior, then you having like a impatience, or you try to defeat them, right? And then also you already know that you cannot compete with it. You cannot do competition with your superior, but as you are impatient with it, you will try to look them down in society or wherever, whatever, right? So that's the way we harmed them. And then in equal, then you will really do competitions, right? This is how we harms each other, yeah?
I'm going back to the envy and jealousy for a moment. I mean, there might be occasions where you might wish for somebody else's life, not the body. Well, for women, it could be, I would like to have that woman's body. Okay, but that's not something you can do anything about, and it might be towards somebody you have never met. Okay, so you can't really act on it. You know, I don't know, pick a billionaire and you might want to say, oh, I wish I had that person's life. But no matter if you acted on that, there's nothing you can do. Okay, there's nothing you can accomplish.
Okay.
So I think most people, it would be sort of idly wishing for something they can't have. Okay, that's very different in my mind to jealousy in the situations that you're describing where you might, you know, be in competition for the same job or for recognition in your workplace or whatever that might be, in which you could do active harm to that person because of your wish, right? To me, that's a stronger thought.
A difference between envy and jealousy, as you see.
Well, maybe, but it's, I mean, I've never thought about what to call it, but there is like a different level, you know, just idly wishing about something. I wish I had this carpet at home. I'm not going to steal the carpet. That's not a good example, sorry, but it was better. I wish I had that woman's body. I wish I had that millionaire's life. Yeah. You can't accomplish that. You don't know that.
Yeah, jealousy or envy, it's just so many things that we know we cannot do, but still we're doing something. As you give me an example, you cannot steal the carpet, you might pour the acid on carpet because you're jealousy, right? It's something we're doing it.
Yes.
So that's we can do it. So we looking down our superior or always like ruining their or like spreading their bad reputation in people because you don't want to see this person is higher than you, or you don't really want that person's ruin their reputations because of jealousy. Yeah.
Would you be able to talk a little bit about the difference between jealousy and what's usually translated as covetousness? It's like when you have the 10 non-virtues, it's a personal virtue of the mind. What's the difference between that and jealousy?
Covetousness is attachment. Just you want it. You like it. There's nothing involved in impatience. There's nothing in it distracted. It could be distracted that you really, really want it, right? So that's covetousness. But envy or jealousy is kind of like taking some kind of harming others or revenge others, because part of the form, anger, yeah. Yes, please go ahead.
I was just thinking with jealousy, there's if there's some just sort of general wish, I wish I had $1 million, versus I'm jealous of this person I work with, that's interfering with my relationship with them. It's decreasing my usefulness. It's increasing my thinking about me. There's something very personal that happens there. The other isn't useful, but it's less harmful, it seems.
Is jealousy?
So anyway.
I see.
When I'm jealous of someone, I'm harming us both, because now I can't be useful to them because I'm all caught up in this story I'm making about how I want what I think they have.
So impatience should be always there, jealousy, once you have jealousy,
I have a thing by Brene Brown that describes the difference between the two. And
between covetousness and
Brene Brown once neatly broke them down in an interview with Oprah. And she said that envy is when we want something that someone else has. Jealousy is when we're afraid of losing something we already have to someone else.
We are afraid to losing something.
Maybe I threw that out there for you.
It's stinginess. We are afraid to losing something is stinginess.
Yeah, they describe it
no, it's not really jealousy. Okay, it doesn't matter. We are not focusing on the term. We are focusing on the experience. Okay, so better recognized by experience. So therefore, something that you do not want see them have a better than you, or you are impatient with having them, either whatever qualities, right? Knowledge, whatever they call it, or characteristics. When you see them, see to other, you're always having impatience, or you don't want to have them. This is jealousy, right? So I don't know, it's called envy or not, I don't know, that's the English term, but I can say it's jealousy, which is like a Tibetan word, takto. Takto means that. So that's, again, whatever you have that, man, then it looks like a small part of anger is there, or different form of anger, because still impatient, it comes to something that you want to harm, right? You want to look them down, you want to take it out, or you want to disturbing them having those qualities. right? So all this like a kind of like is not called revenges. It's part looks like a revenges because it's harming, right? So impatient and harms. These tools definitely comes. That's the entity of jealousy, and then causes attachment, and then ignorance included there. This is the how we need to know. Okay. So therefore, it says like when we have jealousy, then it's coming, right? All this problem. Look at I quoted also from that Bodhisattva way of life. It's in chapter 8. They are in ways of superior. Whatever to translate, it's called in ways. Maybe looks like same in jealousy and anger in ways. In ways. They are in ways of superior, competitive with the equal, arrogant toward inferior, and then conceit with the priest. And if anything unpleasant is said, they become anger. And never is any benefit derived from the childish. So we will not receive benefit from that kind of person, or we cannot benefit to them, that kind of person, right? So, because see, anything unpleasant words we say it's become anger. The unpleasant word is not necessarily that positive or negative. So many positive words make them unpleasant, right? So say, okay, do meditation. Could be someone here as like an unpleasant word, who really don't want to do that, right? And then for children, doing homework is unpleasant word, but it's positive, right? So unpleasant word could be positive word, could be negative word. So therefore, if any unpleasant word they have anger, then it's almost difficult to benefit to others, right? So this is the actually describing. They say they or them, but I will say I, right? I who have in ways superior, and I will competitive equals. I have arrogant toward inferiors. So actually we are. This is natural of I'm not saying natural, it's like a one of the characteristics of human beings, which just comes innately from born. Yes, please go ahead.
I guess I'm struggling just a little bit with the premise of somebody being superior or inferior. Inferior or superior in what way? I thought
Yes, yeah. It could be knowledge.
Equal.
This is how we look at right. If we carefully look at, we will not see any like a differentiated. Everything has their own reason, and everything is dependent on each other. It's like a long and short. I will bring these two, and which is long, and which is short. We should describe. Okay, this is short and this is long. If I bring another longest one, then it's becoming shorter. It's not really long, remaining as longer. It's all dependent, right? So therefore, superior, inferior is dependent, and how we described, and then we are describing through with knowledge, inferior, superior, or any quality, good quality or bad quality, inferior, superior, yeah, right? So, yeah, if we look at if we're finding more what is the wrong and right, and it brings us to the emptiness, the ground zero. Is nothing there, really, not solidly there what is right and wrong, not solidly there what is inferior and superior, but conventionally they are superior, inferior, right, and then right and wrong. Yeah. Okay. So this is how describing us as we knowing it. Okay, I do have a jealousy. Actually, I do have more jealousy than like my jealousy. I do have a jealousy more than my attachment and my anger. This comes. I tried to stop. I've tried my best. Yeah. So that's I notice it. I'm having more jealousy than other anger. Less anger, less attachment, but more jealousy than I see. But definitely it's not good, right? I know it's not good, but in at least comes, it will take time to either reducing or eliminating, right? But at least try doing it. So this is the good opportunity, yeah. So, okay, this is the how we should know who am I, and then whatever that remedy applies here and antidote talks here, it's talking to me as I'm having jealousy. Okay, it's talking to me. Oh, now I should do that. I should do that, right? So now as a remedy, how we can stop the jealousy, or how we can stop those looking down, inferior and superior, like having like a impatient or looking down, competitive, all these things, how we can stop it. Then says in a Pada Tantra, Pada teaching, Master, if these three behaviors were to arise in me, how should I relinquish them? And then Master said, Adisha Drom, jealousy is the root of everything, because it's included in attachment there, and then ignorance there as a part of the anger. It's a little bit pride also there. So, and then unable to bear superior and degenerate them. Denigrates them. Okay, denigrate them. Oh, sorry. Unable to bear superior and one denigrate them. Bereft of compassion, right? Bereft of compassion. One destroys one's inferiors. Actually, describing the same. Once you have a jealousy, and then sorry about that. Like some superior who is higher than you, you will have impatience. Based on that, you try to blaming or criticize, to look them down many different way. And then it's inferior, then you always, as you ignoring them, you will almost not having compassion to them, because compassion, no one ignores. Compassion cares everything, right? But as well, ignoring them through by the jealousy, then it's in you not having any compassion toward them, and then instead of then also you look them down, and then also the harms could be the harms to them. And then it says when no sense of shame and conscience, when no sense of shame and conscience, one trick out one's equal, right? So the competitive is because when you do not have a shame and conscious, or conscious more like a vigilant, not vigilant, it's more talking about the conscientiousness, right? Okay, Tibetan words we call che meva, right? The no sense of shame or no sense of conscious. No sense of shame means like a something that your own responsibility. You are not taking it. That's for us no sense of shame. And then no sense of conscious means you're not concerning others, right? So you're not concerning other, or you having lack of shames. Those are having, because once you have a jealousy, it will have it, right? So yeah, okay, now. So once you have that, then again, it's always competitive, or like it's a strike out of the one is equal. If jealousy is reluctance, other reflections will be dismantled. Cultivating joy is the great method. So cultivating joy is the great method. What is the cultivating joy? Here sometimes we use the word rejoicing. Rejoicing is the exactly antidote of jealousy. It's opposite of jealousy. Rejoicing means it's not just you do not have any feeling, but you try to rejoice. And then verbally you're saying rejoice. It means not necessarily. It should comes naturally or innately that you be happy. When you see someone better than you, you should be happy, right? So whatever characteristic which is you see is better than you for others, always be happy. And then rejoicing, that's what it's called, right? You rejoice, say, wow, how wonderful they are happy, how wonderful they have a great qualities, right? how wonderful they are knowledgeable, how wonderful they have a lot of disciples and a lot of followers. Every time you see, rejoice it, rejoice it. And then rejoice is the one of the seven limb practice, right? One of the seven limb practice. And then it's only many of our masters saying it's part of the only the Mahayana practice. And then they're saying very difficult to do it. So earlier we do not know rejoicing how it's come difficult to do it. But once we know the jealousy how it's functioning, then obviously it will difficult, right? So therefore, until your jealousy is not gone, you cannot rejoice it. So it's not comes innately or naturally. So therefore, again, this is daily practice. Whenever you see, in the beginning, it comes like a impatience, or you losing your patience, you're uncomfortable to seeing them, or you don't want to have them these good qualities, and then immediately say, okay, it's jealousy, right? So now, for remedy, I should rejoice them, and then how wonderful they have it. Very nice. Not necessarily I have to have everything. It's impossible, right? Yeah.
But you could admire somebody and aspire, to be to gain more knowledge or to be more compassionate, or if you see somebody like that you might consider a superior, it's a comparison, but in a productive way. It doesn't create additional attachment, but could create additional happiness, potentially down the road. You're just bettering yourself. You're not looking to for anything material, wealth or anything like that, or status or whatever. You're aspiring to get better. It's a form of comparison, but it's not jealousy or envy.
Yes,
And
yeah,
that's
I understand.
right?
Yeah.
I think it's inspiring.
Yeah, inspiration.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and motivation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we compare it actually. This is what you say. It's this one way to compare. It's good too, as well as you encourage to you have those inspire. It's good too. And then when we have a heavy suffering, we're also comparing. If we look at the other suffering, my suffering is nothing, right? That is also comparing. But the competitiveness, what we're talking generally is with the attachment or with the expectation, or with the ignorance. Those competition is not good, right? So as well as we receiving benefit through by the competition, as such, we thinking suffering is other suffering is way happy than me. Compare them, it's my suffering is nothing. So it's help us, right? That kind of comparison we can do it, yeah, as well as we receive benefit, yeah. Okay. Then I think I'm going to stop here. Also, you can read it from next, like two quoted from Chandrakirti and what's that? Where is it?
Haruka?
Huh?
Haruka?
Hiruka, yeah, Chandrakirti and Hiruka talks about what the benefit of jealousy and what is what the benefit of rejoicing and how not have good, how good to not have those jealousies. Yeah, maybe I will cover next class. Yeah,
But it's harder to find in the Father teachings, right? Because it's not broken down into the same chapters. Am I right? Like the two chunks of the book are just. How would Chappelle? How would we find these same references?
This is in chapter 18, like the chapter that we're doing from the Jewel Garland of Dialogue.
Oh, it's not like in the second half of the book.
I mean, like it kind of is, but I mean, like it's like we have the root text, which is the Bodhisattva's Jewel Garland, and this is like right at the beginning, and then later on, wherever it is in the book of Karam, then this is chapter 18 in the Jewel Garland of Dialogue. So all of that is in here, including these quotes,
including what you have under the heading Father teaching. Okay.
Yeah, I think you're confused. The Sun teachings are the second half. The Father teachings are the first half.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's one book.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. No two volume, right? One
no,
book,
but the book of Kadam is split up into what
I
this
see,
and the sun
ah.
teaching
Yeah.
is.
Yes, confusing.
This is the formatting of it is like the Bodhisattva Jewel Garland is right in the beginning, and then there's
Yeah.
like, and then there's a few other things in between that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Jewel Garland
Yeah,
style.
no, but I mean, I'm keeping up with
That's
this,
right.
like with the classes. I just
It is
confused. It was the
confusing.
father and son mix up. That was the
Okay. The first three chapter, right? First three chapter are quoted from both father and son teaching,
Mhm.
but the rest of them only the father teachings,
Understood.
no
Yeah,
son teachings there.
I just
So
mixed
I
it
think
up.
first four chapters are
It makes
quoted from both. Yeah. And then in the same chapter, I'm trying to quote it below, up below. We just a little bit change the order, but it's in there same chapter.
Yeah,
All
it's great.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can do that
yeah.
because it
Yeah.
boils it down.
So this is just continuous there, not just up and down. Last one is there, a little bit up and down. Yeah. Okay. So any other question? Yes, please.
Book that you read.
We
have two copies of this book in.
Oh, I see. Okay.
They don't circulate, so that, everybody can read them, but you can come down into the library, I can show you where they are.
Okay.
And sit in the library and read, but they just can't be taken
Yeah,
out.
I got
Yeah,
mine
that's
on
what I
Amazon.
thought. I didn't think you could take them out.
I got mine on Amazon.
Other books, yes,
Right?
but
They did allow me to take pictures.
That's-
Yeah, take pictures.
I was allowed to take pictures of
It's
it.
huge. It's
I
like
think so.
1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
picture is fine. Of course, it's fine. No
They let
problem.
me.
I
Yeah.
get them all used, like $10, $12. Some of them are even cheaper.
yeah, but
If
if you
it's
want to
new,
read
it's probably
something for
30,
next week's class. It's, the
Yes.
library's open.
It's a little much to take back and forth to
I
class.
also, if you've ever been to New York, at the Dharma Center in New York, there's an enormous library of Tibetan books. And it's right like where like you're going up to the retreat center at Menla,
Close to
but
it.
it's on the left. Across from the
I'll
Buddha
just
joint.
order.
We're very close to
Oh,
it.
okay.
And I'll
It's
get.
not that far from
relatively
you.
Couple
relative.
more stands
It's
Well,
like
There's
35
like
minutes.
between 18
Okay.
or like the book.
Of the Jewel
Oh,
Garland.
Jewel Garland. No, there's a couple more chapters.
I think 3, 4 more chapters left over. Yeah, almost ending. Well, I don't think we can finish this year. Yeah. So next will be my last Sunday class, I think.
Sunday,
I guess.
next Sunday will be here, Stu?
Next Sunday?
Yes.
Next Sunday I will
I
be
thought
here.
you-
28.
Yeah.
28?
28.
Ah, I said 21.
I see 28. Yeah.
Oh, right here.
So anyone have a question online?
Do you know what time you're leaving on the 28th? And would you like some of us to come and say goodbye?
Ah, okay. Yeah, my flight is in the afternoon. Triple, you can stop recording.